I'm back with Alex McFarland. Alex, we were talking about the compatibility of Islam and the West. You mentioned Samuel Huntington, but I think what Huntington was really focusing on was the political aspirations of radical Islam, its strategic objectives. And of course, radical Islam defines itself against the West, right? We think of a country like Iran as now largely allied with Russia, allied with China. So it's forming a rival axis to the West. So we can totally understand that in those terms, there is not only an incompatibility, there's an outright adversary relationship between Islam as a political force and perhaps the political goals of the West. But I want to focus on something which I think is different that you said, which is that somehow Islam itself in the West poses a problem for our constitutional system of government. And I want to probe as to why you think that is the case. I mean, let me give an example maybe to drive the discussion. We have, for example, in the West, the idea of, heterosexual marriage. That's been a part of our law. This goes all the way back, in its roots to the Reformation, marriage laws made by the state. Now, on the one hand, you may have some Muslims who go, we want Sharia law, we want polygamy, but guess what? We've got leftists in this country and we've got gay activists who would be very happy to throw out the marriage laws, establish polygamy for their own reasons. So what I'm getting at is, what makes the Islamic pursuit of this goal somehow different from, let's say, a secular guy who goes, I don't like the white male patriarchy and I want to get rid of these exact same marriage laws?
Well, that's a great question. And this does really make a little bit for something rather delicate and sticky wicket in that, while I am very leery of CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, and those activist groups that want to further and further impose Islam and Sharia into American culture, are very leery of that. But at the same time, Islam and those that advocate for Quranic teachings, sometimes they do have moral positions that I would agree with. That homosexuality is immoral. We would agree on that. But nevertheless, and this is where, Dinesh, voters and citizens have to really do the work of thought and researching things. America, I love America. My goodness, Dinesh, you know me very well, and you know that I believe the Bible is the Word of God. But I also believe that the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration, Bill of Rights, Constitution, were at least on some level superintended over by God. I really believe that it was so unlikely that in the 1700s that America could birth itself, and that our governing documents are so brilliant that they must be preserved. Now, let me illustrate why the radical Islam would be incompatible with this, because, all right, one of our bedrock presuppositions, as Lincoln said at Gettysburg, government of the people and by the people and for the people. In other words, the right to self-governance based on natural law. The imams and the worldwide caliphate that so many Muslims desire, the idea of self-governance and that there is the consent of the governed. Oh my goodness. Muslims would not tolerate that for a moment. I mean, that alone, the idea of a representative republic and the vox populi, the voice of the people, be heard, and that there is governance only by the consent of the governed, that stops the conversation about the compatibility of Islam and America right there. Would you agree?
No, I would not agree, and here's why. Let's consider a hypothetical. Let's consider a country like Jordan or Egypt for a moment, and let's say that you have a Muslim majority, which you do in those Muslim countries,
right?
And the Muslim majority democratically and by consent of the governed and by majority rule decides that they want to live under Sharia law. So in other words, we're talking here not about Sharia law imposed on an unwilling population, which maybe some Muslims, some radical Muslims do want, but I'm talking about the possibility of having a democratic republic where a Muslim majority decides that we choose collectively and democratically through majority rule, and maybe with some exemptions for minority rights. If you don't want to live under Sharia, you can go to a normal court, but we also have these Sharia courts, and we as a majority of Muslims want those. How would that be incompatible with a representative republic?
Well, in a way, and this is a great point, and I appreciate your very thorough analysis of what I'm saying is that, but it's using freedom to curtail, if not ultimately eliminate freedom. That's in a way what I believe the morally rudderless Democrats are doing right now. They're using the tools of liberty to ultimately chip away and eliminate liberty. Because ultimately, Sharia really means the straight path. And Islam, yes, there are scenarios where non-Muslims in radically Muslim countries have the option to not participate in Islam, but they have like dhimmi status. And I mean, the rights of Christians and Jews or non-Muslims within radical Muslim cultures is pretty bleak indeed. And I mean, all you need to do is study the dhimmi status of non-Muslims, and clearly, people have the right to opt out and not be Muslim, but the price for having done so is rather severe. And what I say about America is this, that you don't have to be Christian, you don't have to even believe in God or be theistic, you don't have to be a straight heterosexual. But here's what we really can't let people do, is tear down the foundation that allows people to be a non-Christian, non-hetero, non-binary person. In other words, here's what I'm saying. If you want what we've had, and what we've had has been stability, liberty, and prosperity in just immeasurable terms. Liberty, stability, prosperity. If you want that, what gave us that should be preserved, and what gave us that, and it's been well documented, past and present, has been a Judeo-Christian representative republic, capitalism. And I know people will say, oh, capitalism has potential for abuse. I agree. Okay, let's call it principled capitalism. But I believe that, anybody can come here and anybody can believe whatever they want to believe. But in terms of the preservation of our governing principles and even the documents themselves, we all have a vested interest in promoting the philosophical foundations of our constitutional republic, and that has been objective morality and, to be specific, a Judeo-Christian worldview, and that's just incompatible with an Islamic worldview.
I'll be right back with Alex McFarland. Christmas is coming up, and if you're suffering from aches and pains, I cannot think of a gift that's better than feeling good again. Might even be better than getting a new car. So here's an idea. Relief Factor. It's the gift that helps people relieve pain and feel good once again. Relief Factor is a daily supplement. It helps your body fight back against pain. It's 100% drug-free. Relief Factor was developed by doctors searching for a better alternative for pain. Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients like turmeric and omega-3s to help reduce or eliminate the everyday aches and pains you're experiencing. So whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, Relief Factor can help you feel better. Unlike pills that simply mask your pain for a short time, Relief Factor helps support your body's natural response to inflammation so you feel better all day, every day. See how Relief Factor can help you with their 3-week quick start kit. It's only $19.95, and it comes with Relief Factor's Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. So what do you have to lose? Visit relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Again, the number 800-4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. When you feel the difference, you know it works.